Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Player Pro Show, reactions and reviews. I am your host, Player Pro, and this is my perspective. Now let's get into the show. All right. Well, I was strolling across TikTok. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I think it was Facebook or Instagram, one of them. But anyway, I ran across this clip. I thought would hit mighty close to home to some women, and I decided to speak about it. So, without further delay, we're gonna hop right into the topic.
Truth. A lot of y'all wouldn't even have no kids if you could only get pregnant if the man that you wanted would marry you. Let me break it down slow for some of y'all. If the only way you could get pregnant was that the man that you wanted, the man you actually want, would have to marry you first, a lot of y'all would not be mothers. You know why? Because a lot of the men that y'all dealt with didn't want you in that way. They only wanted to have sex with you, and you just so happened to get pregnant, and because it was your body, your choice, you got to keep it. But you don't get to dictate marriage. You can dictate keeping that baby, but you can't dictate getting the man that you actually want to marry you. You cannot force him to do that. Either he wants to or he don't. And most of the time, they don't. And they finesse you into not wanting it too, because you know you'll never get it out of them. I know a lot of these conversations go over y'all head, and I have to remember I'm dealing with a group of girls who think that they got high standards because they turned down ice cream dates, but they smashed dudes from Tinder on the same day because he bought her a surf and turf. So I understand how these conversations go over y'all head and y'all miss it because y'all are backwards. You are backwards. Your understanding and comprehension is backwards. But I'm going to continue to keep talking about this because the community is suffering. The kids are suffering. And y'all don't want to change it. You don't want to get to the root of the problem, but I'm going to keep getting to the root of the problem.
There was no lies detected. Now, believe it or not, a lot of the issues that goes on in our community when it comes to the men that women complain about and the women that men complain about would all go away if a lot of these women would just close their legs. Yeah, I said it. Just close their legs. Because the very men that y'all complain about, y'all create them. And y'all raise them. And the very women that we complain about, y'all created them. And y'all raised them. But no one wants to talk about the issue, the root of the problem. And until we can get to the root of the problem, ain't nothing gonna ever change. Nothing gonna ever change. All right, now let's get into some of these comments and let's see what the people have to say. All right, the first commenter says, it doesn't work that way, so what is the point? And someone responds to her and says, the point is, stop getting pregnant by men who don't want you but for sex. No lies detected. Again. No lies detected. Okay. Now the next comment. Let me see your wedding ring, ma'am. Like always, whenever somebody hears something that they don't like, they always attack the messenger and not the message. Shame, insult, guilt, and a need to be right. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. That's exactly how it always is. Well. Here go a comment I really want to tackle. Okay. One commenter says, I only agree because as women, we have to realize all of the accountability falls on us. If we sleep with the wrong man, it's on us. You get scammed by a man, that's on you. You have a baby by the wrong man, that doesn't want you, that's on you. Men always get a pass when it comes to their behavior because they're men. I don't like it, but that's how it is. It's a man's world. And wrong. See, one thing you gotta understand. From the beginning of time, men have always been held accountable for everyone's actions. Anybody up under a man's control, we were held accountable for it. Other than the women got out of line, men were held accountable for it. The children got out of line, men were held accountable for it because they was all under his authority. So he was held responsible. Now, fast forward to today. We have been held accountable. We get held accountable by the law. We get held accountable by society. And most of all, we get held accountable by black women. Y'all have always been putting the blame on us for years for everything that goes wrong in the black community. Even the things that we had no, that we didn't have nothing to do with. We get held accountable for it. Now, yes, we want y'all to be held accountable. We are holding y'all accountable for your actions. Everything you just named are your actions, not ours. So we just want you to be held accountable for the things that you did. Held accountable for your actions. That's it. All right. Now the next commenter says, so the men don't have to take accountability for having unprotected sex with the women they don't want to be with. See, I don't understand why y'all can't take accountability for anything without saying but the men. But the men. That why y'all ain't saying nothing about the men? For the last 50, 60 years, y'all have done nothing but hold the men accountable. We said nothing. You know what I'm saying? From the 70s to the 80s, the 90s, and so on and so on, y'all had platforms, magazines, TV shows, all kind of things, saying the most egregious things about men. We said nothing. It's only been like the last 4 or 5 years, 6 at the most, that men has had a platform to actually speak up. And that's what I don't understand. And yes, the men should be held accountable. But this is what y'all gotta understand. The men that most of y'all get on here and complain about are the bottom 20% of the black population of men. It's probably less than that. And the reason we don't say anything about them, because they are the minority. Y'all are not on here complaining about the good men. Y'all are complaining about the bad ones. And the ones that y'all chase out there ain't but a small percentage of the population. So say the bottom 20% of men, right? If we took that 20% of men that y'all complain about and knocked that down to 10%. You know what? Even better. Knock it down to 5%. What do you think would happen? There's nothing. The same thing. Y'all will be just complaining about the 5% of men. Because the type of men that y'all complain about are the ones that y'all seek out, no matter what percentage they are. If they was 5% of men, y'all would be complaining about 5% of men. Oh, the men ain't nothing. They ain't good for nothing, blah, blah, blah. See, we're not concerned about the minority, the small percent of men. We're not concerned with those guys. If y'all seek those guys out and want to have relations with those guys, then that's on y'all, not us. And I speak for the majority of men. We're not concerned about those guys. Those guys aren't the problem. Y'all are the problem. Our women in the black community are the only women in any culture of any race that seeks out the bottom, the worst men in their society to deal with and procreate with. The only women I've ever seen. And then get on the internet and complain about it. Like, I don't care who you see. Do what you want to do. But my problem comes is when y'all hop online and complain about it. That's where the problem come in at. All right, let me get on to the next comment. All right. Here we go, another long one. All right. Now, someone says, women don't have to be with a man she doesn't want to. With a man she doesn't want. And it seems like that's what y'all are trying to tell women to do. Standards have to start somewhere. And I'm more than happy that some women are finally getting some. Black women are finally realizing that motherhood isn't all that great after all. Some rather be with women, some rather live their lives single, and some are being okay with going where the love is. This community has been stagnant because of the lack of standards. Okay, let's tackle it like this. Now, the first line, she said, women don't have to be with a man she doesn't want, and it seems like that's what y'all are trying to tell women to do. See, that's the problem. Women talking about standards. Y'all have standards for certain guys and no standards for the guys that y'all are attracted to. The guys that you want, you have no standards whatsoever with your body when it comes to those guys. But y'all have standards for the guy coming after them, the one that y'all want to take care of want to take care of all the issues that you have now. You want him to come in and take responsibility for all of your mistakes that you've made. Children, or all the trauma that you now accumulated over the years from dealing with the guys that you want. And then when you can't get the guy that you want, you come back to the guy to pick up the pieces. Just a regular guy. And it does not work that way. Now, like I've always said, you can do whatever you want with whoever you want to. I don't care. But I don't want you to hop online complaining about those guys. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't complain about the guys that you chose, that you wanted, but didn't want you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear no complaints about that. You can go over to any other community and try to get a man. She said, go where the love goes, where the love is. Hey, go ahead. But make no mistake about it. We know that there ain't no other group of men is coming to rescue black women. Y'all are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the dating market. The bottom of the totem pole. And you think that all the other men from the other races are not looking at y'all, degrade y'allself online, make complete mockeries of our community when it comes to the women? You think they want to, and the way y'all talk bad about us, you think any other race of men want to come and hop, and pick up the pieces? You got to be joking. But hey, I digress. All right, let's get on to the next one. Well, this is going to be my last one. All right. Now, this comment says, I get why a lot of women in the comments are offended, but I think her point is about us, our kids growing up in these broken homes, and how it's impacting all of us. Whether she has a ring or not, I think she's right. We love to be called goddesses and queens. We should hold ourselves to those standards. That's what I got from this. Okay. Well, finally, somebody who actually sees the point she's trying to make and not feel attacked and not feel offended. And that is another problem too. And throughout history, in any kingdom, there was only one queen. All the peasant women and in that society were not all queens, or were not all goddesses. There was one queen. That's what made her special. Because if everybody's queens and so on, there's nothing special about being it. Now, the children are being the most affected by all of this. And the statistics are out, and it shows that children raised in a single mother household are at a 80% chance of being degenerates. I mean, let that sink in. Until we get this under control, there is nothing y'all can really say. I say it's not the men. Choose you a good man. There's plenty of them out there. Choose you a good man and get out the streets. Close your legs. That will change almost everything in our whole community. Our community is almost non-existent. Like I said before, y'all complain about the men. If you want to change the men, change what motivates them. Once you change what motivates them, then change who raised them, all of these problems go away. All these conversations go away. But for some odd reason, people don't seem to understand that. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Player Pro Show. And like I've always said, ladies and gentlemen, we are better together than we are apart. Let's make our community great again. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I bid y'all adieu.